I guess I would say, people that are starting out in Qigong, the first and most important thing is to have an external awareness of energy, even if it's just your palms, just feeling space between your palms. Once you have that, you can start connecting it to other things, the ground, the heavens, the directions to your sides, and gaining a broader awareness of this vast sea of energy that your body is bathing in. And then as you become more and more aware of it, then you can bring the external energy into the body, circulate it, and do all kinds of things. So, and a lot of people also get too wrapped up with long lines of lineage. I have some systems that I'm connected with that have lineages that go back thousands of years, 800 years, whatever, different ones. And I'm also connected with a system that literally has only existed publicly since probably 1984, and that would be Katsumi Niyakura. He developed the system on his own, and he was Qigong Master of the Year with Sifu Dan Ferrera in 1997. So here he is as a Japanese man that really has a system that he developed from the time he was a child, that he was just energetically sensitive and observant, and just developed it on his own. It has nothing to do with Chinese Qigong or Tibetan or any of these other long lineages of things. And what he developed is one of the best systems I've ever been exposed to. It's similar to some of the Indonesian Tenaga Dalam systems, and maybe somehow his higher awareness connected to these other systems, because there are some very interesting correlations and similarities. But the fact remains that he developed something on his own that is just as powerful as systems that have been around for thousands of years, which can be acknowledged simply by the fact that he won Qigong Master of the Year and insisted that he was called Key Master, because Japanese and Chinese, there's a conflict there, and the Chinese agreed and said, okay, you're Key Master of the Year. They were perfectly willing to give him whatever title he wanted, because what he had worked. Yeah, I don't know if there's a right attitude. I mean, obviously the people that are more open and just willing to just do it, in faith, are going to have more rapid success. But myself, I was extremely skeptical. I just had this dilemma of is it classical physics or is it something mystical? And I just said, I'm just going to do the exercises. And I didn't believe in Qi when I started. I just decided to do it, and I was actually more skeptical of the mystical side of it, or the just actually being able to feel energy and do things with it. And so it took me probably 7 months of really hard work. I was probably doing at least 3 to 4 hours a day, and it took 7 months. And I was dealing with legitimate styles like the Shaolin, Neijing, Yi Chan, and different things. And I was doing the work. Had I had a more open mind, I probably would have experienced something sooner. But regardless, work is something that produces results, and if you do the work and you're doing something that's correct, eventually the result will manifest. Well, ultimately, it shouldn't take you longer than 5 or 6 months to actually feel Qi. And I've had lots of people that have done this stuff longer than I have, that have come to see me, from some people from New Mexico, some from California, South Carolina. I mean, they've come a long ways to see me, that have done Qigong 12 years, 20 years, 15, they've done it longer than I have. Maybe not as dedicated, but they've done a long time, and they've studied with masters, and they just didn't have an awareness of Qi. And the first thing that we try to do in any of our courses, whether it's in an actual class or it's in a correspondence form, is to give you exercises and and techniques that'll get you to feel the energy. And then once you feel it, then you really have no doubt as to its reality, and then you move forward. And then you can, once you're even aware of it, you can apply it to other things that you're already doing. Like, I have people that do yoga, for example, and now when they do yoga, they actually do real yoga because they're mixing it with the energy, which in yoga they just call it the prana again, but now they're actually really moving energy within their body, and they can feel it. They can pull it from the atmosphere, circulate it through the channels, and so now they're getting the benefits of the physical exercise aspect and also the energetic aspect. Well, some like to attribute it to the term master. I don't like the term master. I don't like it in Reiki. I don't like it in Qigong. I don't like it in anything because really, the only thing you can do is just see how far you can go. How much can you improve yourself? How much can you better yourself? And the answer to that is always more. I can always do more. So at what point am I truly a master? If I can always do more to improve myself, or more, I can always learn more. In fact, open state, like saying, I don't know everything, is far more fun than having a pompous attitude saying, I know everything. There's no fun in that. The life is much more entertaining by, seeing that you can always learn more. And with Qi, I've found that it's done enough odd things that I don't know what the limitations are. So I'm just going to keep doing it. But to answer the question, Sifu means, or sometimes pronounced Shifu too, means like father teacher. And it's similar to the Japanese idea of sensei. But father teacher, most of the time in Qigong, odds are your teacher was going to be your dad, your grandfather, or maybe an uncle. And because of the family relationship, and they typically didn't share these secrets outside of family lines, that father teacher was a very appropriate title. In Japanese, the term sensei just basically means the one that comes before you. And like a perfect example would be in Aikido, Sensei Ushiba, which they refer to as O Sensei, which just means original sensei, the first one, like number 0, he's the first dude. And then everyone after them has a different number sensei. And it just simply means in a line of teaching, you're the one that came before I received the teaching. And then if I start teaching, I'm the one that came before you, and so on and so on and so on.